summer and it's hot. And this is RGR Football. Welcome in, everybody. Nice to see you. Welcome to your summertime lull, where all we do is sit around and talk about guys that aren't under contract yet. Well, technically he is, but we're going to do that tonight. It's great to see you guys. It's great to see Dan back home. I had a little trip, got a little extra ink. I see the color now. It's all coming through, so you're going to have to show off a bit, tough guy. I like, oh, there you go. See, that's the way that goes. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was done a little while ago, actually, but you know, it's just, you can see all of it now. Like, you can see faces, and you can see the Emperor being thrown by Darth Vader, and you know, we got fun stuff. Like, and then we're gonna do Lord of the Rings on this one. So yeah, we just
is that
we
what
keep
it
going.
Is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna have to brush up on my names. Welcome in, folks. Yes, this channel and this live stream is about football. We just had to get started off the sci-fi channel. We're gonna be fine. Hope you guys will enjoy it here. Like, sub, do the thing, hit the thumbs up. Thundarius is already all over it. Make sure you check out his channels. I don't know what that avatar is, though. I'm gonna have to get caught up on that one, buddy. But it's nice to see you. I know you're ticking away. It's almost time, right? Training camp feels like it's tomorrow, right? But it's really about 2.5 weeks. And we have a major thing before that. We're going to get to all of your questions tonight because we are just doing what we always do, answering your questions. You guys drive. We just provide the feedback. Jayhawk, I like this one. We might have to do that too, some sci-fi geeky channel kind of thing. We could definitely, I mean, it's like he wears it every damn day. It'll work just as well as anything else. Nice to see a bunch of our regulars in the house. Terry, as well as our OG mod. Everybody say hi to Gary. We appreciate you. So this is where I'm at. I thought for a long while, he signed the tag so quickly, it's not going to be a big thing. And then I said, oh, God, he signed the tag so quickly, it's going to be a thing. And then I came back to, I don't know if this is going to be a thing. And now we're a week out. And I told you guys a month or two ago when everybody was starting to freak out that, like, you know, deadlines make deals. And I do believe that this whole league runs that way. Well, now we're a week from a deadline, a week and a day. Technically, we're a couple hours past that. But I do think this is going to start to be the push. And I think it's best for the team. I think it's best for Trey to just get under contract. I have two questions for you. And your perspective is probably different than mine, but we're going to start with you because people say that we don't disagree enough. So we're going to highlight this. A, if he comes in and they get a deal done and it's north of 23 million, north of the tag in particular, are you okay with that on an average basis?
No, I'm not okay with it. I don't like it. I can't stand the idea that they'd pay him that much. And it's not because I don't think he's a good player. He's not that good of a player. Trey Smith hasn't gotten dramatically better since he joined the NFL. Dramatically, to the point where I think he is a top 5 guard in the NFL. I don't believe it. And that's my opinion. But we're talking about, and honestly, I don't care about the cap going up either. Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, the cap's going up anyway. You got to do some of this. I don't think that they have to do any of this. And again, this goes back to the whole Joe Thuney contract extension with the Bears. No, I would not rather have a 4 or 5 year contract with north of $23 million for that much of Trey Smith over the $17 million contract extension that Joe Thuney got. I would not in any way, shape, or form want that. So no, I will not be okay with it.
Okay. Well, I am talking myself into it. I am at this point, with having known that you can't get Joe back and there's nobody else on the horizon, the only other option is to play out at the tag and draft somebody, right? Unless you feel that Hunter Norzad is such a shoe-in to take his place, there really isn't, I think, another viable option that ensures you don't go out and upgrade your tackles to protect Mahomes and make him be Mahomesian. Folks, if you haven't seen our new gear, go to the store. You can make Mahomes great again. We just haven't gotten our samples yet. I know Teespring, thank you. You're working on it. But, you can check it out at the store. I'll give you guys a glimpse here in a bit. But in the meantime, you can't get weaker. Try to fix a weakness in tackle and allow yourself to get weaker on the inside is my point of view. So if it has to be, it has to be. And I'm going to be all right with it because I think there are bigger fish to fry right now. And I think that cap space that the extension should bring, not guaranteed, but should bring, might be worth doing. This is a number of position groups that I think could use a little bolstering, could use a little depth. in particular, maybe not starters, maybe one of them, but there's plenty there. So Dan's going to be not okay. I'm going to be reluctantly okay, and we want to know what you guys think. So let us know in the chat. Are you happy with that or not? I'm going to put the chat on for a while and see how it does tonight. It's a little distracting. In fact, we're just going to do this for giggles so that you don't have to be the overlaid person. They'll just think
I am not Ryan Tracy. I'm not Ryan Tracy.
For the 5 of you that are new in the summer, that's Dan. I'm on the wrong side. But, you know, we'll get to the new folks here when the season starts. So that said, I'm just excited because I think something one way or the other is we're going to start to hear leaks about it, I think, before the end of this week. Tuesday is the deadline. Right now, I'm 51% that something gets done. If it's sub 22, I'm ecstatic. And I'm very happy that at his youth and with his, what I feel is still some upside to go, some ceiling he can still reach, I feel like that's a more than a fair contract. Are you better at 22 a year?
I'm better, obviously. I think that anything under the tag number, I'm going to be fine with. If it's north, and I know we're talking semantics in terms of $1 to $2 million, or you could be fine. I'm not going to be like upset if he signs an extension in Kansas City. In terms of the monetary contract, I'm not going to be okay with that stuff north of 23. But that's neither here nor there. That is what it is. Like, I can't control the money stuff. Of course, I think I would love to have, in terms of having him not on the roster over having him on the roster, I want him on the roster. Like, I just want him there because we know what he is. And like you said, there's still a feasible ceiling to get, but will I be happy monetarily speaking underneath the number that he's signed at right now on the tag? Absolutely. Even if it is only $1 million or $2 million that they save, but depending on how they structure it over the years will give me a better idea of what it looks like.
I get you. Jayhawk, thank you for pointing that out. So now I am adamantly okay at whatever happens. There, see, now we really disagree. Just hold that thought. I'll change my mind next week. It'll be great. You guys will love it. Now, that said, before we get to your questions, they're stacking up now. Super Chats get an answer every single time on this stream, and we'll hit most of the other topics as well. But before we get to that, let's get the names right. Daniel, we have news. You have news. Hit them.
All right, everybody. Last year, I joined the Draft Network, and you guys know that it didn't go very well for me. Just the team-wise, it wasn't something that I enjoyed doing a lot of. Obviously, I still love doing the work. That's always been a part of why I love doing what I do. This last, after the draft was over, I left the Draft Network for those reasons, and just been kind of waiting to see what happens. And Bleacher Report came calling, and I am now the newest scout for Bleacher Report, covering safeties, cornerbacks, and tight ends for this draft class. We'll see how it goes forward, but it should be something that, as long as I continue to do what I've been doing, this is something I can see myself doing for the foreseeable future.
That is awesome. Congratulations, dude. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you,
man.
Guys. Appreciate you.
I tell you what. So, folks, you now have just another rung on the ladder, surpassing everybody else that you know and watch and love. Our own Daniel Harms. So enjoy that.
I'll never try to make people, go. You guys love the KCA and Sen guys. We all do. This is a little bit different, in my opinion. I love what they do for the draft. It's all Chief centric. This is different. This is national recognition in terms of what I get to do now, where I get to work and cover the draft. And I'm kind of just wanting to, I guess, simmer in that for a little bit, right? It's a little bit different because TDN isn't what it used to be. And honestly, it's probably going to die very, very soon. I would not be shocked to see that company just disappear. But this is different. We've seen Bleacher Report grow and change over the last 10 plus years. And I'm very excited about this and the fact that we get to watch what happens with this. This is going to be a lot of fun. And again, I'm very excited for the opportunity, guys, and the support you give me is incredible.
It is an impressive achievement. These are people like Damon, who's done this. Nate Tice has done this. A bunch of people that we respect and that we see every year when we go to scouting events. Dan, more so than me now, attends more scouting events than I do. this is where he's getting national recognition. You guys should revel in it. And I'm not going to answer this for you, but I know what Jayhawk's getting at.
No, guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm fortunate enough that, again, I am a stay-at-home dad, and I don't have an outside thing, and I am an independent contractor for Bleacher Report. So I will still be doing all of this. I will be working there just like I was last year with the Draft Network. My responsibilities won't change. This is, at the end of the day, I want to be here with you guys. I've helped build this channel. I love you guys. I love working with Ryan, and I love covering the Chiefs. Like, this is what we love to do. So I'm not going anywhere.
Back at you, dude. I couldn't do it without you. It's crazy. It's crazy what this journey has been for us, but now to see you go to the national level as well, man, that's awesome. And you know what?
You guys.
We need more national voices like yours. You know, when I was doing Locked On Draft, there wasn't enough topics. There wasn't enough disagreement, right?
Yeah.
I know that you're going to bring your own personal view, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to end up working with some people that we can respect as well, and that's a giant plus to be in that conversation like you deserve.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, and this team that they've built over at Bleacher Report, I feel like this can be. I mean, Derek Klassen, Nate Tyson, Brandon Thorne works there, guys. You all know Brandon does great work for the offensive line. Like, this is the ground floor of something that can be really special. So I'm excited. And again, we're going to keep, I'm just not going to stop doing draft stuff here either. Like, we're going to bring that all here too. So
yeah, it's all going to feed in together, man. Now I just have more people to talk to in Mobile. It'd be great.
Exactly.
Danny is a dude.
Beer guys too. Appreciate you, Kelly.
It's going to be great. Good to see you, Kelly, and nice for that reach out the other day. I appreciate you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Back to your questions. Here we go. Prediction. How many Juwan Taylor drive killing false starts will it take for more to take the right tackle spot? Greatly worded question there, Mason. My over-under is at 8.5, Dan. What do you got?
I'm going under, way under on that one. I think it's going to take 4. If we get 4, again, this is all based on the preface. That's not the word. Based on preface that Jalen Moore is not starting at left tackle, and that he's been playing very well in camp and in the preseason. That's what this is based off of. If he's driving the right tackle and saying, I'm getting reps here and I'm playing well, and Chiefs like, well, Juwan's fine. He's been the guy for the last couple of years. We'll just kind of see, and he's not getting any better. Oh, we're just not really have much to do here.
Yeah, it's a certain scenario to get to that point. I'm going to take the over because I feel like Andy and Andy are just loyal as hell, and like a dude's going to have to bury himself, especially with that contract, to get off the field. So maybe I'm just being dumb, but I'll take the over. Dan's on the under, so when he's right, you can all celebrate him. Lee, can you see the possibility of a running back room with Pacheco, Mitchell, Smith, and Young as we look for more explosive plays? Somebody's got to get the goal line stuff done. Somebody's got to be there when Pops gets hurt. He's not going to play 18 games. He's not going to play 20 games, right? Like, more power to him. I know he's supposedly in better shape. Things still happen. You have to have somebody that isn't just, no offense to Mitchell and Smith, kind of a one-trick pony. Yeah. You got to have a backup for your primary, and I think that's Hunt. I don't think there's any way they go away from him unless he
I'm going to be honest. I think Hunt is the RB1.
Do you?
I think he is. And that's not against Pacheco, but we saw last year Hunt came in off the couch and was just better. He was just better. Even though he can't create explosive plays, Pacheco will give you one every now and then, but he doesn't have the vision. And if it were me, if I was constructing this, it would be Hunt is the 1A and Pacheco is the 1B, and you fill out everywhere else. That's what I would do. But we'll see, because Pacheco's been the guy. Maybe they do that. But again, I think Hunt is better with his reads and his eyes and the ability to find the lanes. I think he just does it better.
That's fair. This shit went fast, dude. Look at this.
It was just a joke. Like, it's just a joke. Wow,
that went fast. That's awesome. Oh, I clicked the wrong one there. Okay. Yeah, and my only thing is like I want to see a true committee because I think they can be a better 1-2 punch. Because I think a lot of the wall that Kareem hit last year was because of being out early.
Yeah.
But I'm not convinced, even with a year of training, that he's a 20-game running back either. You know what I mean? So I feel like both of them are probably 14, 15 games, and they're going to need to help each other out. So I like everybody seems very high on Young. I have not seen him in person yet myself, so I don't want to like project too much. But I would say he's probably on the practice squad as a call-up candidate if one of those guys gets hurt. That's probably the way I
You're probably right.
Well, we'll see what happens in camp. Things change. What is the upside potential of Dalton Cooper, the O-lineman, if he spends a year on the practice squad? A career backup is probably the way I would put it. I think that's foreseeable. I'm not being too harsh, am I?
No, I think you're right. It's UDFA guys are hard. That's the thing. Like you can't. Jordan Mailata is a every once in a blue moon kind of thing, right? Like that's what we're talking about. It doesn't just happen for your UDFAs. So you have to project a little bit of improvement. Plus, we also have to project tackles getting better under Andy Heck. And I know we've kind of talked about that, and it hasn't been the best trajectory of late, but I think we can reasonably assume UDFA guys are just kind of hopes at this point.
Yeah. If it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, if it's not there naturally, it might not get there. Yeah. Is kind of the way that we see it. Creed, he made ESPN's top 100, ignoring the positional values. Trey Smith better than him? No, not in my position list or not. I believe Creed is the better player right now.
Creed Humphrey is one of the best offensive linemen in football. Like, not just pure centers. One of the best offensive linemen in football. Like, he's one of the smartest. He's a great athlete. He's physical. Like, I have zero qualms about saying that. And Trey Smith is fine. I'm lower on him than I think the national consensus is. And that's because I have not seen a lot of development, a lot of improvement from a guy who's a very good athlete and has the mentality that all offensive linemen should have. Yeah. There's a lot of problems with his balance and his lunging and getting beaten quickly. Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah. For those of you that are scared, I'm going to tell you right now, this is exactly how it will go if they don't re-sign Trey Smith. And one of those options is very clear that Creed moves over to right guard and is all damn pro, while Hunter Dorzad starts snapping the ball and is really good too. That is an absolute possibility on this team if Trey Smith is not under contract for next year. That's how good Creed Humphreys is. He can be all pro at two positions.
I agree. He's the offensive version of Trent McDuffie.
And there we go. Thank you for the question, Jeremy. Appreciate you, bud. Mason's got another one, though, and we're going to come back to Trent McDuffie. We play against great tight ends this year. Okay, I see where you're going. With our offensive additions, do you expect us to match up better against tight ends this year? Meaning, with the offensive additions, like to put up points because you don't think
season.
Off season. See, this is what happens when you get old. You can't even read anymore, bro. You're gonna have to start taking over the questions. No, I don't see the additions playing a big factor in defending the tight ends this season. It's all about the evolution of Jaden Hicks, which I think is a big positive, but I don't think it's because of additions myself.
It honestly, unless in some crazy world where Jeffrey Bassa comes in, he's the linebacker 3 and he's like on the field all the time and he's just there. Like, I don't see that being a thing. And he's the only guy that can really just line up against tight ends and say, hey, go take that guy away. And I think he can do that, but he's got a lot of work to do to get on the field right now.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. There is a road to that endpoint, but it's not a short one.
No.
Thanks, Mason. Thank you, Minotaur. And everybody thank Minotaur for giving away memberships. Now, in the memberships, you're going to get the base thing here from Minotaur. You get to have the emojicons and you get the special stuff here in the chat. You want to take the next step, go up to the rookie level. You get the extra videos. You get our rants. You get access to the discounts. You get the draft guide for a discount, all kinds of stuff. And maybe most importantly, you get in the Discord. Rogue Nation is our Discord just for our members. You'll see FLDB in there. You'll see all kinds of our regulars in there. And that's probably the biggest perk because you get to hang out with everybody that's here on the channel. So, Minotaur, thank you for always pushing us. We appreciate you. I'm going to jump to Clinton real quick because I really like this one. And I think this is another point where we will diverge. 5.5 stacks over under for Gelati coming in. I mean, is it a relief role or is it a supplemental role on top of Menahue and Karlaftis? That's the big question for me.
I mean, he's the D6, like DE5 right now. Like, he's got a lot of work to do to get on the field in general, regardless of where he was drafted. Like, I don't think he's going to just be someone they put out there all the time. I'm going under for 5.5 sacks. I think that he's got work to just get on the field at all, unless he comes in and he's just better than Mike Dana. He's better than FAU, which right now I don't see as being realistic.
I do not concur. I'm taking the over. I think he gets about, on the season average, I'm going to say 17 snaps a game. I think right now he's a better pass rusher than FAU. Right now, coming into camp. The question
against
is,
NFL players, you think he's a better pass rusher?
I do.
I absolutely do not. Okay. I absolutely do not.
That'll be our season bet. Put it on the board the way they used to do it on Fantasy Focus. Yeah. That'll be our thing, because I'm talking only about the pass, because the reason he won't get more snaps, because I don't think he can defend the running in the NFL yet, whereas
sure.
FAU
absolutely
can.
not.
So I don't think it will be huge, but I think he will make those plays, especially if he is a supplemental pass rusher to both Chris Jones and Karlaftis on the field, maybe even with a Menahue. I mean, we could see a really funky NASCAR package, and I think he would be a guy that could take advantage of guards like it's going on style. So, all right, that's another one we disagree on. Was that good enough, Jayhawk? Was that a strong enough disagreement there? We're going to keep pushing for it, buddy. Thank you, Clinton. Who's your hype train for this year, Dan? Talk to me, good.
Man, I honestly, I don't. There's a lot of guys that I really love, but I'm starting, and it's funny, we just talked about how sub-package rushers. The reason I don't see Ashton Gelati doing anything, because I think Omar Norman-Lott's going to just be the guy. I don't think they're going to have a ton of NASCAR packages because he's there now, because he can actually do that. And when he gets on the field and he's explosive, and everyone's like, why the hell was Tennessee not using this guy properly? It's because they're just dumb. They're just dumb. There's no excuses. You put him in Joe Cullen's. You put him in Joe Cullen's hands, and I think that he's somebody that can actually be a menace in one-on-one situations on the inside or the outside with his speed off the edge. I think he can actually be someone to move around, much like they do with Chris Jones. He's a little bit different in that regard. So I'm on the hype train for him actually becoming a real NFL player, because for whatever reason, Tennessee had no clue how to use this guy.
Folks, it is July 7th. Those are our number 1 and 2 predictions for the pass rush for this season. We will revisit here in December and see what happens.
Yeah.
Should be entertaining. Minotaur, how mean does the starting lineup sound with Simmons, Kingsley, Creed, Trey, and more? It doesn't sound that mean to me. I don't see Simmons as a mean streak guy. I don't really see Kingsley as a mean streak guy. Do you?
I don't think that they exert the mean, like what you expect. I think Simmons is 100% a finisher, like 100%. Zero question about that in the run game. He always tries to finish. I never really got that from Kingsley. Right. So unless his play style changes at guard, he's not really sounded mean to me. Creed doesn't play mean either. Like, let's be honest. Creed doesn't play the game mean. Like, he's just, I'm better than you. I'm just going to push you around. Like, it's sometimes he gets a little fight. Smith is the only guy on this line who's like, I want to physically punish you and be mean about it.
I'm 100% with you. Simmons, I thought, like, just played better because he's better. He's better athlete.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see the mean streak either.
He just lines up and says, again, like Creed, I'm better than you. I'm just better than you.
Guess what? You're not going to like this. It's going to happen anyway. Hey there, Cody. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I owe you a beer. We're going to do the beer garden at KC again, I think. I am back after my hiatus. I hate it when I get a hiatus. Had some personal matters, and all is great. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Hope you and the fam are doing well, buddy. We've had a very interesting summer, the two of us. We've not been on the same stream very often this summer because I've moved already. Dan is in the process of getting ready to. I've been in, let's see, since we left you at the draft, I think I've covered 8 states and 4 countries is what it is. So yeah, it's been a busy time. So no apologies necessary, Cody. Glad that you're back and everybody gets a hiatus when they need it. So cheers to you, buddy. Jeremy, Dan, any thoughts on Andor? Oh yeah, and the best thing from Star Wars post Disney, post Kathleen soon, right?
Honestly, it was incredible. It was incredible. I loved it. The first season was one of the most engaging, thoughtful, well-developed storylines of anything Star Wars that I've seen that isn't 1 through 6. I don't care what anybody says about 1 or 2 for that matter. But I loved what they did. And honestly, when you watch it through and get into Rogue One and then watch 4, I don't care about some of the blips, but it was just so beautiful. It was beautifully done. And it shows you that when you actually care about the product that you're putting out there, you're not just trying to speed through stuff. You can actually create something that people enjoy. And Cassian Andor was great, but I thought that the characters, the development of the characters, everything was top tier. And again, I'm going to say this: first season, Andy Serkis is one of the most underappreciated actors of this entire generation, not just from what he does with, all of the
CGI.
I forget what they call it, the CGI stuff, but as an actor, real life actor, he is so
non-makeup acting.
He's unique. He can do everything. You see him in 13 going on 30 as this guy who's at the head of a publishing, of a magazine to this show Andor, where he's this crip. He's fantastic. I love him so much.
Yeah, as you should. He's one of my brother's favorites as well. I will tell you, probably the character that I've been most impressed with, and I haven't finished season 2 of Andor because of the move and all that, but I've gotten through, I think, half of it. Mon Mothma. Like, you don't get enough of her in the movie.
Oh, so
like,
good.
I like seeing that backstory.
So
yeah, like, I'm really glad for that. So, you got my answer anyway, Jeremy. You don't have to ask, but I watch this stuff too, It's fine. Chiefs have never scored 55 points. Okay. You have scored 55, and we appreciate you.
There you go.
You are the man.
Thank you.
Dude, that is incredible. 4.5 years in our memberships on this channel. We appreciate you, pal. We couldn't do it without you. Holy hell. And you give us good topics to actually talk about, like the last one. So cheers. Nice to see you. And thanks again, man. Why is Trey Smith worth $20 million plus a year to Veed and reach is what I just about said. Why can't, but we can't pay $8 million for Derrick Henry or $12 million for Saquon or Josh Jacobs. Explosive running back is such a need. I will change that shortly, and I don't want to cloud your judgment, so you go first. I'll tell you what I think in a minute. Damn it, I almost started to.
It's one guy. His name is Patrick Mahomes. And it's about keeping him upright. And they believe that Trey Smith is a big part of that. And at the end of the day, paying your offensive line in front of the quarterback that is the best in the NFL, one of the best we've ever seen, takes precedence over what the Chiefs have very clearly showed us they have very little interest in. Is that a good thing? Probably not, in my opinion. But I think their problem is that they won't even meet in the middle. I don't care about going and getting a Saquon or a Derrick Henry. Give me something. Give me something, man.
A mid-round investment. I can get behind that. High day 3, sure. The difference is offensive linemen will play 12 years. They'll play out their second contract and they'll survive it and they'll help you win championships. You cannot say that. Even for Derrick Henry, who, kudos to him, has lasted a lot longer than I thought he was going to. That mid-career change for him that I thought was going to end it. Kudos to him. But you can't count on running backs. You can't count on them to survive and make it worth it and still be explosive. Derrick's explosive. He gets ahead of steam. Saquon, I don't know if I would put Josh in that super explosive group. Would you?
No. Definitely not.
Okay. So for me, you got to remember, Jamal Charles was never a top 5 running back in terms of payment, but he was the most explosive guy on the field, right? You can get guys without paying the exorbitant amounts of money. And I think it is more wisely invested in the guys in front of QB1.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Perry, does 23 million plus bother you if the cap continues to rise versus CJ's $40 million cap hit? Well, Chris has earned it, is the first thing I will tell you. And I don't see any dip. Yes, it's expensive, and yes, it's probably more so than it should be, but it's because of his performance, because I have not seen him slow down. Have you?
He got better, in my opinion, since he signed the contract. I thought he got better. So again, you're paying for projected, not just production, but improvement as well. So when the Chiefs signed Chris Jones, it was, look, we want you to keep doing what you're doing, but we also want you to get a little bit better. And I think that last year there were times where he played better against the run than he had and gave him more effort against the run than he did in previous years. And you see, again, the fact that they utilize him in those one-on-one situations and isolate matchups, you see why they want to pay him and give him that money. Trey Smith is he is not somebody that you can unequivocally say is one of the 5 or 7, maybe 7. I don't know. I'd have to go through the guard list, but 5 best guards in football. He's not in that range. And the reason is because of what we've already mentioned, we've already talked about. Now, teams are going to tell you how they feel about players and so on and so forth. There's a big difference between a Joe Thuney getting that money, even at his age, and Trey Smith.
Yeah. Trey
Smith has never made an all-pro list. He's never, I don't think he's ever been to the Pro Bowl. And I don't care about about Pro Bowl votes. Maybe he has. I don't know. Regardless, Trey Smith is not an all-pro caliber player. He's not. I think he is a very good to very good guard. I just don't think he's an all-pro player.
You're absolutely right about a couple of things. And I think the most important one is that teams will tell you what they think. If the Chiefs do this, they are telling you that they think that his ascension is not complete and that he does have more. And I want to show you guys, because of we're comparing, Chris Jones here, this is what it looks like. And I think this is really important. Just look at this from year 1 to year 10. It's noticeable. And we talk about it a lot, like how he's had to get slimmer and fitter, right? This is part of that process. And how you can fight off age in this game is by making the most of the things that win pass rushes, win rushing downs. It's explosiveness, it's quickness, and by being a little bit lighter and yet maintaining your strength. Chris Jones has done an admirable job. That's a 10-year digression right there.
Yeah.
If we could get the same thing from Trey Smith, the Chiefs are right to invest in it. That's all I can say.
I'll agree with that.
And who knows? We're going to find out rather shortly, if I can get my mouse to work again, if that's really the way that it works. But I think Chris is a flying example. And kudos to Chiefs PR for putting that out today. I was digging the comparisons, but hey, you teed us up really nicely there, 15. Appreciate you. I want to put you back up there again. So thank you. And Perry, thank you. Bradley, you're up. So comparing us to the Chiefs and the Eagles, do you think that we're both evenly matched rosters since the Super Bowl? Oh, that's a good question. Who had the better offseason, basically?
I still think top down, the Eagles are a better roster than the Chiefs. Collectively.
I want to say yes, but if we're just talking about the top 22, if we're just talking about the starters, I don't know that it's that drastic.
I mean, defensively, Eagles are better.
D-line.
Offensively, you have
they lost a lot on the D-line, though.
Yes, but they already had the guys to let them go. Like, it didn't matter. We saw it happen last year. We saw why they were like, yeah, okay, Milton, great season. We're fine. Like, we don't care so much. They have the best offensive line in football. They have the best running back. They have a great 1-2 wide receiver. I mean, their roster's better. Their roster's just better.
Yeah, that's fair. And the thing that will keep them that way, that bothers me just, a smidge, is they continue to have the best O-line coach in the game. So
Correct.
even if they don't get the most elite players, they're able to build up that particular group. that makes up for what everybody complains about the quarterback and everything else, right? Having that offensive line, that's what we're talking about. Why you invest in a guard over a running back is because it makes the quarterback better. And if your guy is already elite like Mahomes is, you can't go wrong doing that.
Yeah.
Another Bradley, nice to see you. How delusional are the rest of the AFC West to believe that injuries last year is somehow the start of the downfall for the Chiefs? They always like to do that. The Chargers listen to the national press, who picks them every time. They're going to start picking them here in about a week to win the AFC West again. Just
been
wait.
doing that.
Have they started already? I don't watch it, so I don't know. But they will.
I hate that I see it. I hate that I see it on Twitter. Like, it bothers me. I don't want to see it. I don't go out of my way to see it because I know what they're going to do. Eventually, one of these years, someone's going to be right. When you're always winning, when the Chiefs are always winning, not just the AFC, but going to AFC Championship games, going to the Super Bowl. Eventually, one of these national media outlets is going to be right, and they're going to think that they can walk on water. Like, I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, that doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, eventually the Chiefs are not going to rest. Eventually. Do I think it's this year? No, I don't think it's this year. I don't think the Chargers are going. I think Chargers are a middling football team. I think the Broncos have the best
third place in this division.
I agree. I think the Broncos have the best chance to actually dethrone the Chiefs. I absolutely believe it. And not because of their offense, but because of their defense. I think the defenses are really good.
Well, don't look now, but they're a balanced team all of a sudden. Yeah. They have just enough offense to keep up, but that defense will keep them in it.
Exactly. And the Chiefs have struggled against the Broncos defense for forever. Forever. So it's something at the end of the day that you're just going to have to find a way to live with. And I think the Chiefs are going to have to get a little bit creative against the Broncos to be able to pull out some of those wins. But at the end of the day, everyone's delusional if they think the injuries are going to keep happening. Like, eventually, right, everything comes back to the mean, and injuries will stop happening. The last 2 seasons, the Chiefs' offense have been decimated by injuries. Hopefully, this year doesn't happen that way.
We'll try. We'll see. Thanks, Bradley. Cal, nice to see you. And if this is Cal watching, I'm going to need you to give me a call, pal. I love Trey, but is paying him worth it with all the other people they have to sign, like McDuffie and Karlaftis? Isn't it easier to find a guard in the draft than a quarterback like McDuffie? I want to say yes, but remember, like, more than half the league passed on McDuffie because of his arms.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And there wasn't any other flaw, and they passed on him. So, no, I don't think it's easy. It might be a little bit easier to find a guard, but again, it comes back to preparing the guy to be the guy. We are in Tom Brady territory, right? I guess on Kay's show this morning, I guess Mahomes was saying that he and Tom Brady have been talking and stuff, even though he is part owner of the Raiders now, which I find very strange. I mean, we're into that territory. You do everything you can. You throw out other players when you have to because you have Mahomes.
This is where the salary cap conversation starts for me. It's not about the player. When we talk about paying the player based on their play, that's where I'm going to be mad about the money. But when it comes to paying everybody else, that's where but the salary cap keeps getting bigger. So I'm not worried about paying this person plus this person because of that simple fact. The Chiefs like to backload their contracts regardless. They don't get creative with the void years like other teams do, which I am a little frustrated with because it's something that they should be maximizing while it's in place. Because at the end of the day, look what the Bills did with Joey Bosa this offseason. Yeah. They paid him $12 million, but they put like 4 void years on it. So they pay him 7 this year, and then they put $5.5 million over the length of the contract. It's a way to create cap space for you that the Chiefs just say, we don't want to do that. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't you want to exploit every little advantage you possibly can get? But regardless of that fact, the salary cap will keep going up. So if you're the Chiefs, you think Trey Smith's damn good player, we want to pay him $23+ million a year. We want Trent McDuffie here. Hell, we want George Karlaftis too. You can pay all of them because you'll have enough money eventually to do it. Does it make sense? That's the question you have to ask yourself. It's not about how much money, because they're going to have it. They're going to have it. Yeah. Does it make sense?
Well, here's the next thing that I feel is coming in. Maybe that's just because I know how many commercials he's been shooting and how many brand deals he has. I'm getting to the point where maybe he starts pulling a Brady, and maybe he doesn't need to make top money. You know, maybe he's like, oh, pay me 18 million a year. I'm fine. I got more money than I can spend right over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe he becomes a sacrificial lamb because I think, what is it, 78 against the cap next year? I think they just tear the damn thing up at some point.
They're
and
going
it's just
to.
like, screw it. You know? I guess we'll find out. I'm sorry, Kel. I digressed there. With the talk of the offseason, with the Eagles being an all-time great team, what do you believe the record would have been if they sustained the same injuries that we did last season? They probably would have lost one more regular season game, and they probably still would have beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, because the Chiefs lost because they were ill-prepared to play that Super Bowl. That's the bottom line.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk if they lose both AJ Brown and Devontae Smith for an long period of time. AJ Brown misses the entire postseason because he can't play, and Devontae Smith comes back later. Let's just assume that that's how that works. Their left tackle, they don't have one. They have to put their guard at left tackle and put someone else at guard. Does that make it a little bit easier to get after Jalen Hurts? Yes. Yes, it does. Do you think that Jalen Hurts throwing I'm going to say this again. Jalen Hurts is one of the best big game quarterbacks in the NFL. I fully believe it. We've seen it in the Super Bowl. Some playoff games, not he hasn't been fantastic, but in big games, I think he plays fantastic. If it's Devontae Smith out there with Jahan Dotson as your number 2 receiver, do you feel more confident throwing the football down the field? And do you think he hits those throws as I know he hit the Jahan Dotson. So I'm just saying, in terms of he plays in a different position. It's everyone gets, plunked down a little bit here in the pecking order because AJ Brown's not on the field. Instead of him being on the field and Trent McDuffie a sacrificial lamb, guess who's on Jahan Dotson when he's outside? It's Trent McDuffie. It's not Jalen Watson. Like, we have to remember there's pecking order here. So I don't know if they go to the Super Bowl. I think that there's a realistic possibility that they lose to the Commanders in the NFC Championship game. I think there's a real possibility that they lose that game. So at the end of the day, what ifs didn't happen. It doesn't matter. But I think you can talk yourself about it, but who cares?
All that matters is what happens next. That's what matters. Learn from your mistakes. Do what you can to protect QB1. That's what the whole Trey thing is about. Yeah. But it's not just Trey. I will say that too. And I do want to share with you guys, because this is my attitude about it. So they have to continue to bolster, to protect him, to give him weapons. And it all comes down to one thing that I was trying to have a sample so that I could wear it on camera by now, but it just isn't going to happen. So we have goats. You guys have seen goats, right? We always have those around. That is our one of our big ones, one of our big sellers. But this is what it comes down to. You got to let QB1 be QB1. Let him be great again. Give him everything that he can be. This last 3 seasons has been a blip on the radar that I don't want to live through again. So you got to pull it all out. You got to protect him at all costs. You got to give him every weapon that you could possibly ask for. And that's really what it comes down to. At the end of the day, he's what makes this championship happen, whether it's the last championship or the next championship, the championship after that. And I do think we're talking at least 2 more. So that's where I'm at. Did you guys hear about Kevin Keesman talking down on Patrick Mahomes on his weight, which is pretty dumb to say on the radio, and not Mahomes put the hard work and dedication into his team? Kevin Keesman's still on the radio? What the hell are we talking about?
Anybody that listens to him, wow. Just wow. But to actually care about what he says, the reason he's even saying anything is so that he gets attention on Twitter. And he got exactly what he wanted when Bobby Strope went after him, which was fantastic, by the way. You guys go read all the stuff, because Kevin doesn't say anything with any actual knowledge of football, of, common sense. He knows actually nothing. He is just Skip Bayless. They don't know anything. They just do this. So people will talk to them, and so that they can feel important. They're not important. Just ignore them, mute them, block them, and ignore them, so that we can stop having conversations, because all they want to do is be in the media. Don't give them the opportunity.
That's all they want. They want to be the star, not talk about the stars, not be a journalist. Ugh. Chiefs fan 15. Could Juwan's play have anything to do with the knee that he had cleaned up? It could. MD said that Matt Derrick said that it's been bothering him for the last part of 2 years. And he said it's the third highest rated pass blocker before he came here. Yes, it definitely could play a part. Do we know how much? No. Could it have panicked him into leaving the line early quite a bit, knowing that he isn't 100%? It could.
Maybe.
I won't know until I see him after the cleanup when he feels better again. Then I'll be able to tell you. Do you have a feel for it, Dan?
Yeah, that's it. We have to wait and see. Like, I think he's going to get pushed for playing time again. I'm of the belief that if Jalen Moore is playing well and Josh Simmons starts and he's just fiending to get in the field and Juwan Taylor's just out there still the same player, the Chiefs are going to have to put him out there. So if he doesn't actually look better, get better, feel better, he's going to lose his job, in my opinion. So this is what it all comes down to. You're going to have someone actually pushing you this year. How do you feel? Can you play better? Can you stop getting stupid penalties in the red zone? If you can do that, you're gonna fend off some of the push that's coming for him.
If you don't, it's gonna be ugly. We all know the contract does not sustain him in this town next year. It might end up earlier than that. Nice to see you, Gary. One of our moderators. Give him a hand. Give him a shout out. I see Worthy with 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, and Royals with 650 and 6 touchdowns. What do you think?
Man, this is it's always fun to talk about stats and stuff. I would love to see Xavier Worthy get over 1,000 yards. I don't know if it's going to be possible with Rashee Rice on the field for a full season, which again I expect to see. And 650 for Jalen Royals would mean he'd be the wide receiver 3. Like, he'd have to be the unequivocal wide receiver 3, which I don't think Andy Reid is ready to let that happen unless, again, we've seen why it's had to happen before in the past, and we don't want that to happen again. So I love Jalen Royals. I think he's going to be an excellent player, but I think he needs to be the wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, just out there. You can let him get accustomed to the NFL game, but as long as he's on the field. So I don't think it's there, but we'll see.
I have to agree with you. If 650 and 6, that means that Hollywood got hurt again, or Rice got suspended for a significant time. That's the detriment. I could see Worthy a whole lot easier being the guy that reaps the attention on Rashee to maybe make some of those big plays to get to that 1K threshold. I could see that. Thank you, Gary, and thank you as always, pal. Cal, if Veach allowed you to make one realistic trade before the season starts, what position and player would it be, and who would you give up for that player?
I have no idea.
I would call Howie. And I would give him Trey Smith for Jalen Carter, and I'd throw in a second-round pick probably.
So he did say realistic trades. So that's
I know. I said I'd throw in a second-round pick on top of it. Because I think Howie has been tainted by the coaching staff, that they're like, oh wait, another good offensive line? Yes, we're going to take one of them too. Yes. Give us more of those. I don't know. A realistic trade? Christ, I don't know.
I don't actually know. This is a great question, Kel, but it's not something I'm prepared for because the Chiefs don't have like a realistic need that is feasible to go and get, in my opinion. So it's like, if I'm looking for a trade partner, it's someone that's willing to trade away a free safety. I don't know who that is off the top of my head, but I can't really help you out here. I would love to be more prepared for the question, Kel.
I'm looking at rosters right now. I can't figure it either.
It requires not only in terms of realistic, it requires a team that's willing to trade the player away as well. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I can tell you it'd be free safety is a good one, but I would say a defensive tackle that can stop the run, that can mentor Omar and just let him be the pass rusher that he can. I think trying to play him on rundowns is going to be iffy, at least in the beginning. Oh, sorry, Kel. That was a tough one. Good question, though. And I'll start thinking about that a little more proactively. Bradley, does Andy bring back the screens more this year to help with the line this particular season? With Hunt and now Mitchell and Smith, yeah, I think you're going to see a more defined screen game. I think it's also a big plus if Simmons does survive and play, because screen game to the left with those two is going to be freaking epic.
Absolutely. Like, they have the tools right now, offensive line wise, and like some explosivity back there. They can absolutely do that.
Dan, when you move to Ohio, can you investigate how the Browns got $600 million for their new stadium from the state's unclaimed funds account?
I mean, no. I'm not going to go. I'm probably going to avoid Cleveland as much as I can, as much as possible anyway.
Doug said, ask my guys and all chiefed up. Is there a possibility that Brandon George will make the 53 with a crowded linebacker room? I'd be interested to say what they said, because there's no way in hell that he makes it.
0% chance.
Maybe they've seen something that I haven't. If you're a season ticket holder, and I thought one of them was, maybe you've seen them in person, and maybe I'm just not impressed enough. I don't see how that happens, because they love Jack Cochran. They spent a draft pick on Bossa, and I think they only keep 5. I don't think they can afford 6 on this roster. But Doug, let us know what you think and what they think. Iceberg, can FAU make another large step forward this year? That is the giant question.
I mean, it's always possible, right? The talent was always there. It's now about putting it all together, and that requires off the field, on the field, mentally, tuning in. And to Clinton here again, Dan, do you believe FAU is a 9 and 10 sack guy this year? I'm thinking 7, maybe. I can't say with any certainty yes, because he's not going to be out there 100% of the time. And this is, again, part of the Chiefs' problem, is that they drafted a guy in the first round with tons of tools, and they put him as a backup. And they said, we don't want you to start ever. Ever. Basically, at some point, you need to see what he is. And unless he's out there for 80% of the snaps, you're never going to find out. So they've done him a very bad disservice, in my opinion, that he's not allowed to showcase what he can do for a full 5-game stretch for where he's playing 80% of the snaps. He's never given that opportunity.
Yeah, and he probably won't be unless Charles Omenihu gets hurt again. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. And to that same question, do you think he can be a 9 or 10 sack guy this year? Clinton thinks 7. I'm putting it at 5.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see 5. He's never even gotten to 5. So, like, I mean,
that'd be a jump for him, and good for him. He might just be a late bloomer. You never know. He might not hit his stride till the second contract. Dan Ryan, since you were talking TV, do you watch Severance or Squid Game? Never seen Squid Game. I have started Severance. Like, I started the first episode, but I got dragged into other things, and so it's still on my watch list. I have not gotten there yet.
I will never watch Squid Game ever. Just like I will never watch Tiger King. Things that became big during COVID, I will never watch ever.
Right.
And I did. My wife and I finished watching Severance. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah. I know lots of people love it. I don't know how I feel.
I have not seen it yet. I did just on that same service. I just finished watching Slow Horses, the MI5 spy series.
Oh, okay.
That's more my speed, but I like that. But I will get to Severance as well, and I'll tell you what I think when I think it. If I think it. I felt like from years 18 to 22, Andy would get Pat on the move out of the pocket for plays like Lamar or Josh. Now it feels like Andy makes Pat be just a pure pocket passer when he's not. I think that's an age thing too. We have to remember this is season 9 for Patrick Mahomes. He's almost 30 years old. Like, he was never the scrambler that either Josh or Lamar was, but he was underrated in that aspect, right?
Yeah.
I think you may be right, Swag, that Andy has tried to keep him in the pocket a little bit more, but not by saying just don't run. I think it's more about the concepts that they're using against the defenses that they're using. And I think it's forcing Patrick a little bit. And I think, honestly, the high ankle sprains have caught up with him. And he's like, I'm not going to run unless it can really pay off for me.
I mean, we've seen them kind of adjust what their bootleg is. It's not the full bootleg. It's the stop, it's kind of like come out and then come back. So and honestly, when you run a bootleg, pure bootleg, you're reducing the options. And the Chiefs, specifically lately, have not been very good at creating separation from the wide receiver position. And when you are doing rollouts and you have only 2 options and an offensive line that's not great, it limits what Patrick can do. It limits where he can go. It limits where he can escape, and it limits your players that have viable ability to catch the football.
Yeah. Even for Patrick, who could throw against his body and throw the no looks and all that stuff, you're still putting that split second timing into a position that makes it very difficult to complete passes at that point.
With no run game. So there's no threat of the play action bootleg. Like there's none.
Right. Yeah. God forbid, Andy. Does paying Trey Smith mean that you don't think Norzad can be a starter at guard? Smith is good, but paying 2 good players great money is what sinks teams. 2 great players isn't going to do it. I mean, we've seen Kelson and Mahomes in their contracts and now Chris. I think it may mean, I won't say that they don't think Norzad can be a starting guard. I think it may mean that they feel he's a better center than a guard, and they're not willing to push him into that role. Like I said, I think Reed can go play guard and be an all-pro.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. And that's not, you never know. Hunter Norzad might need a couple more off seasons to bulk up properly, because he's a little slight for a guard. He's better as a center, honestly, in terms of his size, his buildup. So if they want him to play guard, maybe he comes in this year and he looks a bit bulkier. Honestly, if he does, maybe he's got a real shot. Who knows?
Could be. He's got all the skills necessary, though. I will say that. Here, take that one. I'm going to stack the rest, and we will.
All right, Swag. I know you were asking earlier if your questions were in there. They're always in there. We're talkers. It takes us a while to get to them. I'm tired of falling for the offense will be explosive narrative this year. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't want to get my expectations up. I mean, I don't blame you. At the end of the day, I think that everyone is trying to put this whole Patrick revenge tour thing on the air. I don't think Patrick cares about that. I legitimately don't believe he cares. I think he's just, all he cares about is winning. And regardless of whether that's the return of the deep ball or, the explosivity comes back, I don't think he cares. The realistic part of this is that they need some. The offense cannot survive another year where it was at last year. It can't. It's just not possible in terms of winning games the way that they won last year. It's not sustainable over a long period of time if teams don't have to worry about you throwing the ball down the field.
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
I saw what you got distracted by.
This is the comment of the chat. I mean, this is what tonight is all about, folks. Right here. That is exactly it.
That's true.
And yes, Tracy, you are grounded. I'm not going to answer all of those, but I wanted to throw that one up now. Oh, that's hilarious. Where did who go? Oh, one of my favorites. Okay. Chris Jones, modern player, reminds me of a great old school player, Buck Buchanan, with the same size and length and power. I can see what you mean about the slimming down thing. I mean, Buck was always like super lanky, in my opinion, but I can see what you mean. Honestly, for a D lineman, other than being not super high waisted like Neil was, the arm length that Chris is able to use quickly reminds me of Neil out on the edge back in the day. So I can see where you're coming from. Buck always looked a little thin to me. Just me. What come Trey Smith contract situation? And if I was doing the contract, I wouldn't give him the top dollar. I would give him 3 years, 22. I think Dan would be happier with that, and I'd be ecstatic with that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love to see that.
Take it. Gary, thank you, buddy. The Broncos definitely might be that good versus the Chiefs offense this year if the receivers will have a really good year. And that's really the question. You got to help that quarterback. I like him more than most, and I do recognize you have to present yourself to Bo Nix in a way that allows him to be what he is, and you have to do maybe more of the work than you do for most quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think that's what you saw from the Broncos last year, is that he's someone you have to help out a little bit more. He's not as creative in the pocket and in terms of creativity with making things happen. He's very structured. Sean Payton says, do this. He says, Yes, sir.
Okay. Do it. Good to see you, Cody. I want to know your thoughts on the online with Simmons, Suamataia, Trey, and Creed out in space. Screen game prowess with Smith. Hype time. I like the hype time, and you're right. Elijah Mitchell's the same way. Elijah Mitchell, if he's 95% of what he was before this last injury, he could easily be a home run hitter from the screen in particular. And I love the left side. If Simmons is actually healthy to go, and I'm trying to hold myself back because my original, like, hey, you can't put him out there. Everybody who's been at practice that I have talked to has said, no, really, he really is just about ready to go. And I'm like, crap, I don't see it. But okay, like if he's that good, Dan, like this should be a screen extravaganza.
There should be lots of things. We should see lots of power, lots of pullers. We should see lots of different things with this offensive line if it's going to be this type of way. And again, there's going to be lots of sound bites of me saying they shouldn't play Josh Simmons. That's fine. With new information, you adjust what you say. Every single year, every single month is different. Things change, guys. So I don't want to see, you said he wasn't going to be able to play this year. We have to adjust with the information that we have. I had no information saying he was going to be this good because guess what? He hadn't been drafted yet.
Well, and I'll put a caveat. I said I wouldn't play him. Not that he shouldn't play. I said I wouldn't play him yet.
That's fair.
Then that's how I get around that one because I can be wrong with in my own head. It's fine. Would you be down for a Nyheim Hines vet minimum if you could see him make a comeback and be a third down back? I mean, if they have a need, if neither Mitchell or Smith works out, sure, give him a shot, give him a tryout. Who cares?
At this point, it would be a tryout, but I don't think he would make it. I don't think he'd make it.
It'd be interesting if he did. You never know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hunter. Thanks, Beach. Does Sky make the team this year? No.
Zeros. There's no shot. There's no shot he makes the roster.
No. I
Prove
think
me wrong, Sky.
Yeah, please, Sky Moore. I think he gets cut. I think he comes back to the practice squad, so he's still in Kansas City, but he does not make the initial 53.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. I can tell you that much.
Okay, FLDB likes it. That's good. I think Michael digs it. Okay, that's good too. We're off and running. Let's go. Is it me, or do I feel like Pat will be disrespected in the top 100 by ranking him outside the top 5 or something? Mo, I can only hope. Just keep messing with Patrick Mahomes at your own peril, NFL. I dare you. I triple dog dare you.
Guys, Brandon Allen was voted better than Creed Humphrey. Don't pay attention to the top 100 list. No, I don't care. I don't even think Patrick cares anymore.
He's got to be over it by now, right? They always do it. But great question, Mo. And I really hope that they do it again. Bradley, is Chiefs derangement syndrome fatal? I don't know because it seems highly contagious. Derangement about how bad they've become, supposedly. I think you'll see a lot of fans fade away. Like, let's be real. We're hitting that fatigue phase of Chiefs that all the bandwagon fans that jumped off or jumped on after like the second Super Bowl run, like they're like, oh, maybe he's not that good. Maybe we'll go be Eagles fans now. Like, okay, bye-bye. See you later. Let's just let him go as far as I'm concerned.
So we got the whole Emmanuel Acho thing saying that they're in a drought, a Super Bowl drought.
Right.
You guys remember that? You guys saw that? I tweeted out like, do you know what a drought is? Because they literally are coming off 3 straight Super Bowls. A drought means an extended period of time where something doesn't happen. Okay,
Sam.
Can we please stop with the nonsense? Okay, please.
That's awesome. Will Kelsey fill up the stat sheet like the old days because our fast wide receiver room takes the attention off of him? I think it does buy him more room. I am trying to believe. 25 pounds would have been too much, but if he's lighter and he's more nimble, I don't know. What I saw from tight end U looked like a pretty damn bad hangover to me. So I don't know if he's making a whole lot of progress on that one, but I mean, I can hope, right?
He is definitely slighter. Like he looks slighter, but the problem is that Rashee Rice is the guy. Rashee Rice is the guy. It's
nailed
not
it.
about the Travis Kelce of it all anymore. It's the
You nailed
Rashee
it.
Rice. It's the Rashee Rice of it all. He was already going to be like a 1,400-yard receiver last year if he didn't get hurt. It was going to be, he was doing the stuff that Travis Kelce was doing when he was in his prime. That's what this is. This is not about Travis Kelce. It's about a final ride for him to win a Super Bowl. It is not about stuff in the stat sheet. And no offense to your question, it shouldn't be about the stat sheet. For Travis, it can't be. He needs to open up things for Rashee, for Xavier, for everybody else, so that they can all eat, because the offense has to know what it feels like without Travis Kelce. It has to. You can't go into 2026 and he retires and you say, what did we do all last year?
now?
Travis was the guy. Like, what you can't do it.
Yeah. I do think, and James, thank you for pointing that out. Rice is the guy that I would choose for this question. Which Chiefs player will break out this season? I think it will be Rice. But back to Alex's question. If that happens and they start doubling him and they start playing shade over the top and they move safeties, Travis will have opportunity to put up old school numbers but it takes someone taking away from him. It's not just going to be because he's Travis anymore. It's not just hey, I'm 36 and I'm here, so I'm going to whoop your ass. That's not the way it's working anymore.
In the Super Bowl, please. I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just save it up till then, Trav. We're going to be absolutely fine. And I love this one. Okay. So I'm glad that you dig it. Chiefs fan, go get it. You guys can find it in the RGR store. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Chiefs fan agrees with you, but this one right here, this is what I live for, Nikki. I tell him, you don't do enough rants. Go ahead and go off on the streams. I love the rants.
I feel so bad, guys. Like I'm so busy that I don't have time to do a ton. So the fact that I've gotten to do a couple of them on the streams, like, it's been okay.
Jeremy got to the same place I was going. That's what 55 months buys you, Jeremy. I appreciate it, buddy. We are in sync. Do you play Hollywood Brown this preseason? Hell no.
No. Don't
Not
touch
a
the field.
snap.
You sit down. You don't touch it, Hollywood.
I would hide his cleats. I wouldn't even let him know where they are. Hell no.
Just bring your jersey, buddy. Don't even bother with your pads. Just leave them out
on the sideline. I don't care. Holy hell. Since this may be Travis's last season, can I see a big year from Noah? Man, that would be cool. Noah's put in a lot of work. And for him to reap the benefits, I would be really excited about that, Mo. I just don't know if there's enough to go around to make that happen.
The numbers he got last year. The numbers you got last year are what you're going to get, I think, at most. Yeah. And that's a great season for him. It's a great season for a tight end too. It's great. That's what you want. If you, no offense to Noah, but if he's approaching 600, 700 yards, there is a problem in Kansas City.
I agree. This is hilarious. I don't even have TikTok, but I would love that.
We don't need to see the field, guys. We're good. Nope. We're good. We're gonna sit over here. We're gonna get the camera, get the ring light. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. You guys go do your thing. We'll be playing ball over here. Just rest up. Okay. We appreciate you guys. This has been a fun one, especially for Midsummer. Dan, thanks for being back. I missed you, and I'm glad you guys are doing well.
Me too. Glad to be back home for the next 2 weeks, by the way. That's all I have left here with all the stuff. I have 2 weeks with everything in the house, and then it's all going to be gone. So videos are going to be sparse on Wednesdays until I get everything set up, because it's tough, you guys. As you all know, with things being in storage and waiting until it gets unpacked. So we'll do what we can do.
Reggie, I'm so sorry.
What?
He hit 49 and we missed it somehow. Son of a 49. You were an epic. And you run, dude, you have helped me so much just by having a place for us to go as a Discord. I appreciate you, buddy. And I can't even say 4 years or not. That's outdoor. That absolutely is awesome. I am so sorry that I missed that. Damn. Well, I'm glad you're happy with, but you knew what I was going to do, right? Like this is the stuff that bothers me for hours after the streams when I forget stuff. You can ask Dan. Like
it does. It eats away. It eats away.
Damn it. And this one, just wanted to comment on Andy Serkis. He also narrates new audiobooks for Lord of the Rings. I did not know that. Honestly, my favorite performance from him.
and he does all the voices, and he changes his voice for everything.
Seriously?
It's amazing.
Freaking awesome. And I don't have time to read anymore. I read pretty slowly. So all I do is audiobooks.
Audiobooks, yep.
So I have to. Oh, that is awesome. Damn it. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. And now I get it. I'm sorry. Damn it. All right. All right. Before I screw anything else up, we're out of here. Have a great night. We'll be back next week. I might even do another live stream. RGR headquarters has changed. So when you see my From the Deck series, it's going to look a little different, but make sure you don't miss that because that's going to be fun. And we'll be back with Dan whenever Dan's available as we get ready. Peace out. Nice to see you, Beach. Thanks, everybody. I hope you guys have a great one. Dan, thank you. And say hi to Avery. Is she mad at me or what?
Oh, no. Bedtime has changed because it's summertime. So she's like watching movie, getting ready for bed, like while we're doing this now instead of it being earlier. So, you guys all know. If you have kids, it's summer gets a little bit different.
A little funky. That's all right. Say hi to the ladies. Have a good one, everybody. And catch us whenever we catch us. You'll have something for me tomorrow. Have a good one. We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.